right. Good afternoon, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Um, I hope you had a good discussion with Lily on reading, as as you're gonna find out today with the science as well. Things have changed significantly. Okay. Before we get started, couple of standard questions. One, let's start with the face-to-face students. Raise your hands if you're done with all the homework. Okay. How much are you left with?
How much what?
How much are you left with?
How much am I left with on the thing?
Homework, yeah.
For this week? Or for last week, you mean?
Yeah.
I have to start it tomorrow.
Okay, get it done. Okay, it's gonna pile up. If you're online, just do a thumbs up if you're done with all the homework. Okay, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See two students who have not done the homework. So I expect you guys to do the homework. Okay, I just can't emphasize enough. Okay, you'll be in a, especially what is happening now. You'll be in for a big shock if you're not prepared. Okay, then I'm going to talk a lot about this today. Uh, Second, as you, I'm pretty sure Lily has talked to you guys about how much the ACT reading got changed, right? For example, it used to be 46 questions, 40 questions, 35 minutes. It went to now 36 questions, 40 minutes, right? So you have a lot more time per question basis. The problem is they only are going to grade 27 in reading. So the entire one passage is not graded, and you don't know which one it is. So if you bomb that passage, you bomb the test. If you bomb the ungraded, and you still will get a perfect 36 or close to it at least. Sounds good? And I don't know if you read what my son had written, and I put it on WhatsApp. His experience on the September ACT, the first real, the enhanced ACT they call, and he thought he had plenty of time, but there's only one passage. It had graphs, and we have never seen a graph in a reading passage, ever. Yeah.
Like it was like a plot arc type graph, or like what graph?
I don't know, he said, but there was nothing given much. Like it was a minimalistic, that's the word he used, minimalistic graph. But usually science has graphs and stuff, as you can see it here. Reading, we never. And he thought that was very weird. And in this reading, as Lily may have pointed out, it used to have prose fiction, humanities, natural science, and social science. My son did not get that. He got 2 prose fiction and 2 natural science. He didn't have humanities or social science. But that's his test. That day, his friends who were in the same room got a completely different reading test, which was harder than his. So I wrote that comment here. Same day, you may have different tests. Strategy will not change. Yeah.
So like the entire test is different as opposed to
Entire
just
test was
the
different.
reading.
And hugely difference in difficulty level. Like one student I know, we taught him one-on-one. He's from Omaha, and he thought his test was a lot harder than what my son told me. Some of the questions I asked, hey, this is what my son is telling. Did you get these questions? He's like, no, I didn't get these. He got something else. So the color of the test booklet is different now. Yes, there is now colored test. You get a purple, you get an orange color test, you get a red color test, and stuff like that. Which is different form numbers. What I'm saying here is, we don't know what you guys are gonna get that day. Yeah.
Other people who can end up with the same test, though?
What's that?
Other people who can end up with the same test, though?
Absolutely. So somebody in California may get what my son was taking. My question is, how the hell are they gonna grade? How the hell they can compare two things and equalize it? Yeah.
So like, doesn't the score, or like how you score a question isn't that like based on like the difficulty level of the question? Like if it's like super easy,
But
then
again, here's the thing. I understand your point. You're right. If more difficult, they have a better curve and all those things. But if the question itself is different, the determination of difficulty level changes. So, for example, let's say my son's test. Let's say he got an easy test. His math was hard. He said. Let's say his math was easy. The curve doesn't matter if he gets all correct. He gets a perfect 36, right? The hell with the curve at the time. So I think I feel, I didn't know that till he came out of the test. I was like, Dad, everybody got a different test. I was like, what? Because we had reviewed a lot online to see. It was a complete shock for us. So, that's the same with science. I hope you all wrote everything, right? So I can sit here and discuss it. There I had to stand and write a lot. Here I want to really discuss it. Majority of these kids in that room have gone through our class, so they're a little bit more aware. Yeah.
is there anything below the graphs I can't see?
No. So my point here is, this is just a discussion with you guys, okay? So ask questions. They ask some really good questions. Make it interesting. Because I said, I'm learning as well. Again, I've done this for 18 years. The strategies we have used has not changed from the day when I started the company. Now, are we changing the strategy? No, we are not. We are not changing the strategy. It's the same exact. It's just that you guys now have more time than ever before. So really, our strategies really don't matter much now. The oomph factor is not there anymore. In the previous one, our strategies was making a 6 to 9 points difference for some students. 9 points increase. Go ahead.
So this is off topic from the science section, but like on the reading section, on top of the 4 passages, you get a graph.
No, out of the 4 he got, 1 had a graph in it.
So like the natural science one maybe?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was like a diagram of something?
No, it was a graph. A minimalistic informed graph, he said. So the point here is, we have never seen that before. And he was like taken aback, and he just skipped the entire passage and said, I'm not going to get to this right now, because he was not mentally ready for that. Question is that the passage they're going to throw it out? They won't tell you. They won't tell you. But the people who are taking the December test is going to be interesting, because December you can get your test back. April, June, and December you can get your test backs. Then that's the first time I'll have an idea what passage might have been removed. Till the time, no freaking clue. Same with math. He had out of 45, only 41 is graded. What is a 4? But remember, that is for his test. God only knows what has happened for other tests. Okay. So, ACT Science now has become optional. It couldn't be any more stupid than this, by the way, honestly speaking. I just can't even fathom that science is now an option. It's an option now. I downright think it's stupid. So I want it on record, because it's just deplorable to think that science is now going to be an option. It doesn't matter whether you're a law major, business major, econ major, or a nursing, medical, engineering. The basic science always helps. So not having that is a hard pill to digest. But if you are gonna apply to top schools, if you're gonna be pre-engineering, pre-pharmacy, pre-science, all these majors must have a science score. Yeah.
So like, is the science section still looking the same or similar to how it was before? Like
The type of questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what his was. His French was not. He said it was very difficult.
But it was like the same idea, same format, right? Like you still had graphs, you still had reading, but like
Yeah, those things were all same, but the difficulty level was varying from so much from one side to another side. And I'll get to that one actually. I want to get to that one. So now your composite ACT score is English, math, reading divided by 3. Then that's what your composite score is going to be. And then you get a separate science score. If you take the writing, you get a separate writing score. Of course, you have to pay separate for science, I think $3 extra and stuff like that. It just feels really, really, really weird. Again, stop me and ask questions. Especially you guys, they're more, a little bit more exposed to science than you guys are, so you need to ask questions. So you're gonna have an optionals, but it'll be separately listed. It used to be 40 questions, 35 minutes. Now it's 40 questions, 40 minutes. So you have 1 full minute per question. That's 60 seconds. In the previous, just like reading, you had 52.5 seconds per questions. So per question, you have a 7.5 seconds advantage. 7.5 seconds is a lot of time. Sounds good? A lot of time. Well, the bad part is only 34 are graded. That means every question now is weighted 1.06 points per question compared to 1 per in the old format. So if you make 2 mistakes, you lose 2.12 compared to 2. And you won't have any clue which one is not graded. So you'll have to do 40 questions, 40 minutes. So my son told me he had plenty of time for his test. Don't know for others. And for others, his close friend, he said he barely could finish the test. But 34, so you have a 6 question leverage, which is not graded. The ones you made mistakes, if they are ungraded, score shoots up. If the 6 questions that are ungraded, you got those correct, but the other one's wrong, you're screwed. You're exponentially screwed. So it's very hard to kind of determine till we see it. So you may think that every question matters. That's how you have to go. Don't think about that's ungraded and graded. Yeah.
So this is besides what we're talking about right now, but for the December test, we're also gonna have access to like the science test portion, right? And then like the questions.
You get your test booklet. Yeah, you get what you got correct. Of course, even that got changed. They used to send you that physical test. Now they're gonna do the electronic version. So if you want to print out your own test at the time, but you'll know at least. Weird, because you have nothing to compare with. But your score will score. That cannot be changed. It really is a pickle, I guess.
We find out on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, my son will find out on Tuesday. That's his birthday. 16th birthday, golden birthday, on 16th is his result, so we'll see. The problem is, whatever score he gets, I cannot go into the details because we won't know the breakdown. He won't get the September test back. So let's say he gets a 36 in science. What does it mean? Which questions got graded? We don't know. I know one question he got was on shrimp. Does shrimp has a vertebrae? Is this vertebrate or invertebrate? He's like, I don't know. How the hell anybody? I said, I don't know. I can guess. So 5 questions he had, and I'll get to that pre-knowledge questions. We'll get to that one. It used to be 6 passages, now went to 7 passages. Till 2018, ACT had 7 passages. Then they moved it to 6. So between 2018 to 2025, so 8 good full years, they had 6 passages. Now they went back to 7, which is a good thing for you guys. It used to be 6 to 7 questions per passage. Now it's 5 to 6 questions per passage. That means if you did not understand one passage, you won't screw up a lot more, basically. Sounds good? Any questions online? I want to make sure you guys are following me, and if you have any questions, stop me, please. Anybody from online? Okay, good.
I was like, do you have any idea of like those 5 to 6 questions, or like, sorry, those 6 questions that are not graded? Is that going to be a whole passage, or like?
We don't know.
split
They didn't.
tables?
We tried to look for it. Reading, we know it's the entire passage. Science, they didn't say it, and I'll be shocked if it's the whole passage. But again, I don't know. Till December, I have no clue. I'm hiding my frustration. Trust me very well. Trust me, I'm very frustrated with all this. We have not been had any communication. ACT did not do a press release of the details. They should have done that. As reading was clearly explicitly told, it's one full passage. I believe for science it's not the case. Otherwise, I think they would have told. Okay. Well, 52.5 seconds in the old format was quick. Time now is not a problem. Again, based on what we have saw in one example of September test. But I do genuinely feel that 5 extra minutes is a huge deal for science. And I've been a big proponent since I started the company. Actually, ACT had talked to me once. And they had asked me, if there's one thing I would change, what is the one thing I would change? I said, add 5 more minutes to science. It happened after many, many years. But I didn't know other changes as well. We are going to continue to use the same strategy. Nothing changes for us. So we're going to approach the same way. Sounds good? Okay. Now, listen to this. So, imagine yourself, and I hope online students are very focused on this, and students who have missed today's class are going to watch this. I really hope that you're going to take this seriously because strategy is a big deal. Now, that's why I wanted you guys to write it down so you can actually listen to this. In ACT Math, even in the new format, this is what we are seeing. First question, easy question. 45 questions, the hardest question. So there's a linear increase in difficulty level from question number 1 to question number 45. So I told my son, do the first 15 quickly because they were easy. Next 15, the medium, last 15 were hard. And that's exactly how it turned out for him. Of course, not exactly every problem of it. There were some questions which were hard in between, but general trend. But science, every single test, doesn't matter the old format or the new format, can have a significant variation of difficulty level starting from passage 1. So I focus on the blue line here. I'm just making this up. In one test, you may have a passage 1 which is damn easy. But passage 2, very hard. Passage 3, okay. Passage 4, okay. 5, again easy. 6, difficult. 7, medium. So you can have that variation in every test. Black line, different tests of science. Difficult first passage. Difficult second passage. Easy third. Easy fourth. Easy fifth. Okay, 6th. Okay, 7th. So, every time science will vary. And our strategies are going to convert a weird looking graph to a more structured like this. You see this arrow here? And that's why we use these strategies. Whether you got extra 5 minutes or not, does excuse me, doesn't matter. This will still help to convert a science difficulty level to more aligned with some math looking difficulty level. It's a big deal, by the way. And I have 2 specific examples I want to give you. October 2013, coincidentally October 2019. Wherein October 2019, which is at that time we had 6 passages. Actually, you know what? October 2019 had 7, so it's changed after 2019 then. So 1, 2, 3 were extremely hard. 4, 5, 6, 7 are extremely easy. So students who started with 1, 2, 3 and did not use our strategies could not finish the test because they got frustrated, they lost their momentum, and they lost their confidence. This will build you the confidence you're looking for, and that's all it is in science. And there is no right, wrong answer, by the way. It's you have made the best judgment of what are the easy ones just by looking at it, looking at the size of it, because you have not read the questions. So, step number 1, scan all passages within 1 minute. You are literally, physically flipping the pages. Okay? And anybody who does that in the test room are all New Horizon students. That's how we know that. And one time, the supervisor actually had to stop and say, "What you guys are doing?" They're like, "No, this is what the strategy was." And because all students was doing, because of all were New Horizon students. And all, including you guys, will be prepared for that. What are you going to scan for is the passages looking for reading. How much reading we have to do? Less reading, good for us. More reading, not good for us. Second, graphs and pictures are good for us. More graphs, good. More pictures, good. Tables, we don't want more tables. Less tables, the better for us. So within a minute, by looking at the size and all these criteria and the combination of all those, it's not like this is the order. This is the combination of it. At the end of the day, common sense really is the one I'm talking about. You are going to select the first 2 passages you will work on. Only the first 2. Sounds good? Out of 7, you would only pick 2, the first 2. And you will practice enough in this class, in this semester, that by the time the semester gets done, 80% of you, combined, 80% will get the first 3 passages correct. Sounds good? And if you don't pick the right ones, you are screwed. Because you are going to start with a difficult one, drains the time. And there's a 4th point called conflicting viewpoint passage, which you will see that today. Those are the passages that just look like a reading passage. No graphs, no tables. They resemble a reading passage. And that should be done last. That will be the 7th passage. And if you make a mistake here, you are going to be screwed. Don't make this mistake. Sounds good? Next. Remember, tables are not preferred. Tables are not preferred. But eventually you'll have to do a passage with tables. You might as well do small tables, so size matters. So, and there's also tables called data and word tables. A data table is better. A small table is better. 2 small tables are better than a large table. Sounds good? So, with this strategies clearly practiced, you will not have any surprises that day. If you don't, then you will be in trouble. Couple more things. The number of questions in English, math, reading, and science English, math, and reading have gone down. So, by the time you get to science, you might not be as tired as students in the previous format were. They were physically tired because it was a long test. 45 minutes for English, now it's only 35 minutes. Math was 60 minutes, now it's 45 minutes. Sorry, 50 minutes. Reading was basically 36 questions, now is to be 40 questions. So you may not be that tired, but if you don't practice the full practice test, I can assure you guys, you'll be in for a rude awakening when you hit the science portion, because your body physically starts giving up on you. Like, oh God, I'm tired. So you cannot be hungry, you cannot be tired. And for that to happen, take the full practice test. My son has taken this is his 4th time taking the ACT. A combination, he has taken at least 15 full practice tests. And it's not easy to do that. Sounds good? Okay. Before we continue, is there anything you want to ask? Okay. Everybody, get this book. Let's go. So today we're going to practice, okay, of how to select the passage. Remember, we have not even started the questions yet, right? We have not. We are just talking about selecting the passage, and that's how important it is. All right, open page number 7070. Don't start the test or anything like that. Just hold on to your horse. Okay, 70. This book. You guys good? All right. Now, I'm gonna remind you guys again these strategies. Take a couple minutes to soak up those strategies. Have a clarity in your mind, because we will start applying these strategies. 70, guys, 70. Matthew, did you get it? 70. You all good? Okay. First, of course, I've told you 1 minute, but today is the first day. I'm going to give you guys more time. Okay? You have to use these strategies, and then you select the first two we do. And we'll be, as this is a new format, we want to make sure that everybody will be asked what is their first two. Okay? You'll get 90 seconds. So you have a lot of time. Time is not going to be that much of a problem. Select only two. Time starts now. And by the way, this book has 6 passages, not 7. This still is the old format. I want only the 2. Okay, 90 seconds. So I'm gonna go first face-to-face students in this order. I want you just to tell me, let's say you selected 3 and 5. I'm just making it up, by the way. I want you to tell me that. Then we go to online. So I want everybody to tell me what you've selected. Go.
3 and 2.
Okay, hold on. Let me write this down.
3 and 4.
3 and 2.
3 and 2.
1 and 3.
1 and 2.
2 and 5.
Yeah, 2 and 5 and 5, 2, that does make a difference. The order is hugely important. Let's go to online. I'm going to go through the list I have here. Abe?
2 and 3.
2 and 3. Anna?
2 and 3.
Andrea?
and 3.
Clara?
3 and 2.
Okay. I have an iPhone 112. Don't know who it is. Can you identify yourself? Okay. Jack? Jake?
2 and 3.
Okay. Lainey?
3 and 5.
Peyton?
3 and 2.
Is there anybody else I missed? Okay. All right. Let me tell you what I selected. Again, remember, there's no right, wrong answer, right? In the real test, there's nothing nobody will be comparing like what we're doing right now, right? So whatever you've done, you hope that you have done enough practice that you're going to match with at least 80% of the students. Okay, I selected passage 3 as number 1. 3. And passage 2 as 2. So how many got 3, 2? Raise your hands here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Online, do a thumbs up. 1, 2, 7. So we had 3, 2, 7 students. How many had 2, 3? Anybody had 2, 3? I see 1 online, 2 online, 3 online. So between 2, 3 and 3, 2, we are talking 10 students. And that's pretty good. Okay, that's a really good start. Now, but I want to be particular about why I selected 3, 2 versus not 2, 3. 3 has 2 graphs and hardly anything to read. Passage 2 has 2 graphs and a table, a little bit more reading to do. So you should be able to convince yourself what you have selected makes sense to you. You cannot just say, oh, this is what it is. Yeah, because nobody else is going to be there to compare with you. But if I ask you to validate your answer, you should be in a very confident place that you have went through these rules and have a clear understanding about it. So, just so that we are all on the same page for this test, on page number 70, at the top, write down 3, 2, please. All right. Now, as we have, out of the 6, we have already selected the first 2. In the real test, what would happen? You would go to these 2 passages, you would answer those questions, and then you're ready to select the next 2. Okay? And I'm going to give you guys only 45 seconds to select the next 2, assuming we all have selected 3 and 2. Your time starts now, 45 seconds. Take your time, you have a lot of time. Time's up. Go ahead.
1, 5. 4, 5.
Okay.
6, 1.
1, 5.
1, 5.
1, 5.
5, 6.
Abe?
1, 6.
Anna,
1-6.
Andrea,
1-6.
Clara,
1-5.
iPhone 112. Okay. Jack,
1-6.
Lenny,
5-6.
Peyton.
1-5.
Okay. Okay, let's see. I have selected passage 5 as number 3 for me. Okay. I've selected 5-1. So we have a lot of 1-5s. Let's say 5-1. And let me tell you my reason. You can, again, fight with me on this one. You should, by the way. You're supposed to defend your answers. 5. Yes, I agree on passage 1 has less reading. 5 has more reading. So you have your answer, first step is correct. Second, passage 5 has 3 graphs. Passage 1 has only 1 graph. Passage 5 has no tables. Passage 1 has a huge table. That's why I selected 5 and 1. Yes,
How about 6? Because it has like almost the same stuff as
size. Lot of reading to do. It goes almost on second page. No, sorry, first page. Well, pretty close actually. I have my 5. No, passage 6 is I would have selected. Yeah.
I feel like passage 6 doesn't have a lot of reading, it's just more detailed explanations for the questions. And
Yeah.
for me, I feel like since it's just more words for the questions, it's gonna make it easier for me to point out exactly what I'm looking for as the answer.
Okay, sorry. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, I think that there's more reading on passage 6 in the sense that it's more words in the questions and in the answers,
Okay.
which can help it be more.
Okay, let me wanna definitely warn you on that one. Do not ever look into the questions. You have no idea what the question says till you read it. Look at only the passage to make that distinction. Okay? And I know sometimes like, oh, like for example, question number 34 has a picture. Don't go there. Don't look at. That's why more you guys ask questions. All the experience from the past I can share. Don't look at the questions to make this selection. Only the passage. And I'm not denying you, Ashika, that passage 6 is has graphs. But I know that you may have selected 6 and 5. Is that what you selected?
6-1, so pretty close.
For me, definitely passage number 5. It can be 5-1 or 5-6. I'm okay with that because they're kind of, again, there's no right or wrong answer. Yeah, it's sometimes they're very clear, sometimes they're not. This is kind of an edge. I actually debated in my notes. I have between 5-1 and 5-1 and 5-6 actually in my debate. Again, just for clarity, you guys wrote what was the last 2 we wrote?
3-2.
3-2. So please write again, just to be on consistent purposes, 5-1. Again, there's no right wrong answer. I'm just want to make sure that we are on the same page. Next time onwards, where you are going to be on your own, independent of what others do, then you have the real fun starts. Then it's like, but I can guarantee the first 3 are important. The last 4 can change. All right, so we're left with 2 now, 2 more. We can easily decide. We don't have to. So what do you guys think?
6-2.
6-2? Yeah, 2 resembles what? No, not 6-2.
Oh, no,
6.
sorry, 6-2. That's my bad.
6, 4. So you can see 4 is what we call a conflicting viewpoint. It says student 1, student 2, student 3, no graphs, no tables. Those ones suck your most time. And if you start with that type of passage, you are in for a big surprise. Not all of them, but the chances of you hitting a difficult conflicting viewpoints is pretty high. Make sense? So you got 3, 2, remind me, 3, 2, 5, 1, 6, 4. This is what we call at New Horizon the science code. And this code will change every single test. Sounds good? But remember, you're going 2 at a time, not all 6 at the same time. You're going 2 at a time. But you want to see the first 3 out of the 7 or 6, whatever you want. You want to have at least 80% match it. Sounds good? And if you vary too much in the first 3, you will not finish the test on time. Make sense? Next. On page 7070, read the directions, please. So you can see it says best answer, right? The difference between the correct answer and the best answer is pretty simple. In math, everything is correct answer, right? 2 plus 2 is 4. That's correct. Color of this polo, light blue, dark blue, sky blue, right? What's the best answer? And best answer according to who? According to the author who wrote this passage. This is where students usually have a difficult time. This is where more you practice, more you'll be comfortable how the author thinks about a passage. People who don't practice science are for a big, big surprise, especially the conflicting viewpoints. Second, pre-knowledge questions. We just barely touched on that one. My son had 5 pre-knowledge questions. You're not supposed to have it. It's impossible to practically expect you to know physics, chemistry, biology, and physical science for 4 years of high school but he did say that it does really help. He had one chemistry question, which is a pre-knowledge question, and he knew about it because he's in AP Chem right now, and he got lucky. But are those the graded or are those the ungraded? We don't know. Of course, last but not the least, same day you'll have different tests. Nothing changes for you guys. The color of the test, the form number of the test is independent of how you approach it. Sounds good? You have it doesn't matter. You have no freaking clue what type of test you have. You just focus on what you have, a question at a time, and that's all you can do. Sounds good? Do the homework. Make sure you gets things going on, but time has come to start preparing. Have a good night. Bye-bye.